I'm Joseph Thompson, Bumpside Treasures out here in Challis, Idaho, and I just wanted to talk to you about our 64 F-250 Holly Green. Little backstory on this truck. So I was actually doing a little truck hunting online and came across a gentleman selling another pickup, and in the background I seen this 64, and so I inquired and said, hey, what's the story on the 64? And best we can come up with, the camper shell was put on maybe in the mid-70s, and the pickup was used around the farm just light duty on a couple camping trips, and just stayed in the family. Now this pickup is titled still on its original first issue Texas title to that gentleman. Now he passed away in 1987, and so we worked together with the gentleman's son and got the pickup transported here to Idaho where we could get hands-on and decide what to do next. So first thing that we noticed was the pickup had just been sitting on a dirt floor barn literally for the last 50 years, so we needed a lot of attention to detail on minor mechanical things. So the underbody, we spent multiple days on the underbody checking out all the mechanicals, cleaning up all the bare metal surfaces, going through everything on the pickup to where we could justify calling it a preservation. When we started looking at the engine, we wanted to keep this truck as original as possible. Didn't want to take anything away from the originality, but we also wanted it to run, and it didn't run at the time. We didn't want to just go about it, happenstance. We wanted to do it right, and we finally decided we just pull the engine, pull it all the way apart down to the bearings and check it out. So I'm glad we did that. We found that the rings had been seized in the pistons probably for some time. All of the bearings checked out and were in perfect shape. They're original bearings. They've got the 1964 date codes on them. We've got pictures of that to show you. Everything internally looked absolutely beautiful. Just those rings were stuck. A couple valves were stuck. And we had our head specialist at the machine shop look at those, and they decided to change out all of the springs. The valves that were stuck had weakened those springs, and so we went through the heads, cleaned them up, put in new springs, new seals, went through the whole engine, did all the gaskets and seals. We left the original bearings in place. We wanted them to kind of show the originality of the mileage on this pickup. We were able to use all of the solid lifters. We were able to use 13, I believe, of the original push rods. 3 of them were bent on those valves that were stuck, so we replaced those. Put this whole engine back together as original as we possibly could. We did change out the spark plug wires, and we put electronic ignition in, but it's got its original distributor, it's got its original exhaust manifolds, the original carburetor, air cleaner, all the accessories. The original generator still works and is on this pickup, as well as the original starter. So we tried to keep as much original as we possibly could. We've got pictures of that process for you to look at. All the paint on this pickup is original. There's blemishes, some of which are factory blemishes right off the line, some of which come from sitting in that barn for all those years. And we like that. It shows the originality, the little scratches here and there, the paint chips, the places where the paint is thin in different places. It just shows the originality, and there's nothing I would change on the body. All of the weather stripping is OEM on this pickup, and all of the glass. So when you look at the weather stripping around the doors and the windshield and the cowl, and, around the side mirrors, everything is the original rubber. And we felt like it was kind of important to keep that integrity with the truck as well. The bed floor has virtually seen no use. The wood is perfect. The original paint on the wood on the upper side is beautiful, and shows very well underneath the truck as well. Drivetrain original. We did powder coat some 17-inch wheels and mount new bias ply 17-inch tires on them. The original tires, as best as we can tell, are still with the original wheels, and we didn't want to separate those. We didn't feel like if we separated them and put new tubes in that they'd go back together. So we are going to include those with the truck, but for the sake of being able to display the vehicle and drive the vehicle, we've got the powder coated wheels and tires. The only paint work that was done was the hubcaps, factory Ford Argent Silver with red accents, and then the engine we painted back and catalyzed, two component gloss black with red Ford valve covers. We think it came out just as close as it can be, and all the interior 100% original. We didn't have to change out anything. The floor mat is almost like new. It's the original floor mat. The seat is all factory upholstery and shows very well. I really wanted to pull the camper off of this truck to show you what it looks like without it, but as we looked at it closer, and it's been on the truck for so long, we didn't want to compromise anything by removing it, so we'll let the next owner decide if the right choice is to remove that or leave it with the truck. So I don't want to bore you with more details. We hope that the photos and the videos show for themselves and allow you to bid with confidence on this 1964 F-250.